أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم. قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم بعد الذي جاءك من العلم ما لك من الله من ولي ولا نصير. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يتلونه حق تلاوته أولئك يؤمنون به ومن يكفر به فأولئك هم الخاسرون. يا بني إسرائيل اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم وأني فضلتكم على العالمين. واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا ولا يقبل منها عدل ولا تنفعها شفاعة ولا هم ينصرون. وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين. وإذ جعلنا البيت مثابة للناس وأمنا واتخذوا من مقام إبراهيم مصلى وعهدنا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل أن طهرا بيتي للطائفين والعاكفين والركع السجود. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا بلدا آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر قال ومن كفر فأمتعه قليلا ثم فنضطره إلى عذاب النار وبئس المصير صدق الله العظيم. All right, so now we will go to the Tajweed notes and just take a little peek here on the table of contents. So all of these we have covered, starting from Al-Qalqala, the heavy and light letters, Lam, that is Lamul Jalala, Lam in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ruling of Ra, being heavy or light, rules of Nun Sakina and Tanween, Idhar Halaqi, Iqlab, Idgham, and Ikhfa. And then we did the rules of Mim Sakin, Ikhfa Shafawi, Idgham Shafawi, and Idhar Shafawi. And then we started the Mad. We did Mad al-Tabi'i, Mad al-Badal, Mad al-Iwad, Mad al-Arid al-Sukun, Mad al-Lin, and today we will do Mad Wajib, Muttasil, and Jaaiz Munfasil, and we'll start on Lazim. We'll see if we can finish it, then it'll be great, inshallah. So let us go to Mad Wajib Muttasil. Okay, I'll just expand this page. So, Mad Wajib Muttasil. Wajib means mandatory. So, we must we must do this mad as soon as we see it. But what makes it wajib? What is its the actual scenario? Inshallah, we will look at it now. So, if a mad letter, what are the mad letters? Alif, Waw, or Ya. So if a mad letter is followed by a hamza, which is present in the same word. So this is the key statement or key phrase there. Sorry, this one. I need this one here, my pen. Okay, back to the full screen. Okay, so this one here in the same word. So hamza following a mad letter, whether it is alif or waw or ya. If a hamza appears right after, then there will be a mad. If it is in the same word, then it will be mad wajib muttasil. This one here. So that's the definition. And the reader should prolong that mad 4 to 5 beats. Okay, we usually choose 5. So this is what is our choice. So we tell our students to stretch it 5 harakat and be consistent with it. So let's look at these examples that are below here. The first word is waji'a. Now this word is a little bit maybe confusing for some people, okay, because you have jim and there's an alif, but you must notice that, one second, let me make it big a little bit so that you can see what I'm trying to say. I'll take these notes away and I'll make this a little bit more big. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now you can see that there is this thing here. I'll make the pen a little bit thinner. This. So you have the alif here with a zero on top. Whenever you see this combination of a letter with a zero on top, then you completely ignore it. You do not read it as if it's not there. So what is left then? You are left with jim with a kasra followed by a ya. So if I can choose this here and maybe this color here. So you're basically left with jim with a kasra followed by a ya. So we know that the mud will be formed here, natural mud here. Jim, ya, kasra combination will give you two harakat mad. Ji. Now you move forward and you see that the next letter happens to be a hamza. And this hamza is in the same word. This is one word here. So by definition then, this becomes mad wajib muttasil. Mad wajib muttasil, and we will do it 5 harakat. The book here says 4 to 5, but as I said that uh, we basically tell our students to stick with 5. So then this one G 2 harakat, G will go to G. So we will read this word like this. Waji'a. Okay. Where and as I said before that this part here actually we do not read. Why? Because there is a zero on top of the letter, and as you can sort of think of it as like this letter having a zero value, or from the pronunciation point of view, its value is zero. We do not take it into consideration when reading. So that's the first word. Let us move on to the second word. All right. So again, let's find the natural mud. Remember, um, we pointed out that every type of mud, you have like all the different types of mud that we have been doing. Each type of mud has to have in its core the natural mud. If the natural mud is not there, and the word I used is a seed, if the natural mud is not there, then you have no mud at all. So let us first of all find an occurrence of natural mud within this word. This is one word here. Ulaika is one word. So again, now you see there is a letter with a zero on top right here. So as far as reading is concerned, this letter will not come into play at all. So we will go from Hamza with a Dhamma, U, and then the next word that so next letter we will read will be Lam, Ula, like this. A lot of people end up reading this Ula because they are reading the Waw as a mud letter, but here the Waw will not be considered at all as far as reading is concerned, and this is going to be totally out. So the letter, effective letter that is right after the Hamza is actually Lam, Ula. All right. Now where is the natural mud here? You have Lam with a fatha followed by an alif maksura, and there is this little mud sign as well here. This sign is a mud, but even if it is not there, we know that there is a mud happening right here. There is a stretching happening right here. How? You have a letter with a fatha followed by a alif. So whenever a letter with a fatha is followed by an alif, then you have a natural mud, of two harakat. So let us uh, encircle that here. Okay, that's your natural mud here of two harakat. You have identified the natural mud. La, lam alif fatha, la. Now you move ahead and you find a hamza right after. And this hamza happens to be inside the same word. This is one word. So what are we going to do? We are going to stretch this to 5. 5 harakat. And this is how we are going to read it. Ulaika. Ulaika. Okay, so you can count as well like this. Ulaika. So get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That long. Now how what is the duration of each one of these waves? That, let's say, one harakat. So this is, if this is 5 harakat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the duration? This duration, as some people say, 1 second. It is not 1 second. This is determined by the speed of recitation. Some people recite fast, so these are going to be this very close to each other. And some people recite slow, so they will be like this. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So it depends on the speed of recitation. So the speed of the recitation of the reciter establishes the unit length, or unit, let's say, duration of one haraka. So at this speed, this would be the duration. I don't know, it could be maybe, I don't know, 1.5 seconds. I don't, whatever it's going to be. And here is going to be probably half a second, maybe. So you cannot say 1 second or half second. No, it is established by the speed of the reciter. All right, let's move to the third word here. So this one is a little bit simpler. What do we have here? Let's identify the natural mud first, which is the seed of every type of muds. So you see that there is a letter with a fatha right here and followed by an alif. So right here you have the natural mud of two harakat. How many? Two harakat. So we will read it like this: sha, sha, and then you move ahead and you find there is a hamza, and this is in the same word. So as soon as you see a hamza in the same word following a natural mud, so we know that we have to stretch this. It doesn't remain natural mud anymore. It is classified as mud wajib muttasil, and we will stretch it 5 harakat. So this word will be recited like this: sha'a, sha'a. All right. The next word here. Now, what do we have here? Where is the natural mud? You have a letter with a seen with a fatha, but there is no mud letter right after. There is a meme with a fatha and there is an alif right after. So here is your natural mud. Let me encircle that here. Okay. So this is going to be 2 harakat long, meme, alif, fatha, ma, 2 harakat. And because this is the same word, we find that there is a hamza right after or following the natural mad. So this means that we are in the condition of mad wajib muttasil. So this natural mad of 2 harakat will get changed to 5 harakat here. So as you see that the reason for stretching the natural mad from 2 to 5 is the presence of hamza right after the occurrence of the natural mad. Here is the natural mad. I didn't encircle it here. I encircled there, encircled there. And now here also, but this was a special situation, but this would be the natural mad here. Okay. This lam here of as-sama is not recited because seen is a shamsi letter, inshallah. When we do the shamsi and qamari letters, we will explain um, why the lam is not recited here. But just take it right now that, that there are some lams that are recited in this hamzatul wasl lam combination, like al-qamar, al-an, like this. And in this case, you have a seen, um, and the lam is not recited. Why? Because seen is a shamsi letter, like ash-shams, as-sama, like that. So lam is not recited. It is written, but it is not recited. That's why you do not find the sukoon sign on it. All right, let's move on to the last word, but I'll have to take this away, and I'll just move this over. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too much difference between this one and this one. So again, this one, the hamza does not have any haraka, so perhaps we are assuming that there is going to be a stop here, and hamza is going to become sakin. So even if the hamza becomes sakin, we will still do the mad wajib muttasil. So where is the natural mad? Is right here. Mim, alif, fatha. Ma, 2 harakat, and hamza is in the same word. This is the word here. So we will read like this. As-sama. Here you would have read it as-sama'u. But here, um, since we are stopping here, so hamza becomes sakin, we will still do the mad wajib muttasil because of the presence of hamza, and we will stretch this natural mad here from 2 to 5 harakat. As-sama, like this. So we stop here. All right. Let's bring the magnification down a little bit so that we can see the whole page. Perhaps one more. Okay, it's better. The next mad that we will do is mad jaiz munfasil. Mad jaiz munfasil. So jaiz means permitted, and munfasil means separated. So if a mad letter, again alif, waw, or ya, present at the end of a word is followed by a hamza which is present in the beginning of the next word. Okay, the reader is supposed to prolong the mad letter again 4 to 5, and we choose 5 harakat or 5 beats, and which is mad jaiz munfasil. So that's what it is called, mad jaiz munfasil. So when we look at these examples here, let's move up a little bit and make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So as usual, let us identify the natural mud first. The occurrence of the natural mud in the first, these are 2 words. Okay, let me just do identify the 2 words first. So here are the 2 words. Okay, inna anzalnahu. These are the two words, one here, two words. Or if I can say the other one, the first word and the second word here. Okay, where is the natural mud? The occurrence of the natural mud is right here. So you have noon with a fatha followed by an alif. So here's your natural mud. Let me encircle it right here. And this is going to be, as we know, two harakat. Na, noon alif fatha, na. Now you move on, and as you are reading continuously, you move to the next word, you see that there is a hamza here. So if we are reading continuously, then if we were going to stop here, then obviously this hamza becomes totally transparent. We will not stretch this natural mud. We will just say inna. That's it, two harakat. But if we are reading, and that's what naturally we should be doing, so therefore we see that there is a hamza right after, and because of this hamza, this natural mud of two harakat will get stretched to five harakat. So it's the presence of hamza again. So the similarity between this mud Jaaiz Munfasil, which is the one that we're doing now, as compared to mud Wajib Muttasil, is that the hamza in mud Jaaiz Munfasil occurs in the word following the word that contains the natural mud. And in mud Muttasil or Wajib Muttasil, the hamza is contained within the same word. That's the main difference. So how are we going to recite this now? Like this. Inna anzalnahu. Inna anzalnahu. All right. Let's move on to the second example. Let's identify the first occurrence of a natural mud. So here it is, dhal with a kasra followed by a ya sakin. So here is your natural mud right here. And it will be, it should be stretched to harakat. So if someone was actually going to stop here, then obviously this hamza becomes transparent and you only do alladhi. But normally you wouldn't do that. So when we will be reciting continuously, then you see that there is a hamza. So as far as reciting is concerned, you encounter a hamza. It just happens to be that the hamza is in the following word. But as far as recitation is concerned, there is a hamza right after a natural mud. So therefore, we will stretch the natural mud from 2 to 5 harakat. Um, See, as you can see that this is your mud sign here, mud sign. But sometimes, like if let's say it gets omitted, maybe I don't know, publishing mistake or whatever. If that sign is not there, but you know that this condition, so this sign is only written there for our convenience to let us know that okay, there's going to be a long mud condition here. This one, okay, and this one here, and this one here. But even if it wasn't there, my point here is, even if this sign was not there, we know that there is a natural mud followed by a hamza. So we are still going to do it. So this is what we need to be looking for. An occurrence of natural mud and a presence of hamza right after. If it is within the same word, then it is muttasil. Wajib, muttasil. If it is in the following word, then it's jaiz, munfasil. All right. So how would we read this word or these two words? الذي أنقض الذي أنقض. Okay, the next word combination, two words here. Let's identify the natural mad here. So you have dal with a kasra and you have ya sakin. So similar to this one, let's encircle the natural mad right here. Two harakat followed by a hamza. This hamza happens to be in the next word. First word, second word. Because the hamza is in the second word, it will be mad jaiz munfasil. But still, we are going to stretch this mad from 2 to 5 harakat. And we will read it like this. الذي أطعمهم الذي أطعمهم. All right. In the next example, let's identify the natural mud. Where is it? Here you have it. You have a tha with a dhamma followed by a waw, waw sakin. So let me encircle it right here. Thu, tha, waw, dhamma, thu. Two harakat. That's your natural mud. And remember I said that any letter with a zero on top, we just totally ignore this one. So this one we ignore it. It does not come into play as far as the recitation is concerned. So you have thu, two harakat followed by a hamza. And this hamza happens to be in the following word. Word 1, word 2. Yalbathu. Okay, and then this is going to be stretched 5 harakat. يلبثوا إلا. Okay, again. يلبثوا إلا. All right. So these are the examples for mad jaiz munfasil. Okay, let's move on now. Let's read this note here. Okay. So if the reader stops on a word that ends with a mud sign like this, where is the mud sign here? Here is your mud sign. This one here. That's the mud sign. Okay, like alladhi. The mud will be considered as mud tabi'i. So that's what I actually explained to you. That if if you stop here, then it will be just alladhi. But if you do not stop, then it will be alladhi anqadha. Same thing here. If you were to stop here, then it will be alladhi, two harakat. But if you did not, then it will be alladhi at'amahum. So a lot of people, they get confused because of this mud sign, and then they think that, well, because the mud sign is there, I need to stretch it even if you stop. So then if they do choose to stop here, they would still say alladhi, and then they will stop, and which will be actually wrong. Let us do some examples from the Mus'haf before we move on to the next mud. Um, new topic. So let's do some examples from the Mus'haf, inshallah. Let's identify these mudud from the Mus'haf, inshallah. Okay, so let's use the same page that we recited from before and identify the first occurrence of mad wajib muttasil or mad jaiz munfasil. All right, we do not see any yet. Well, you see, okay, here is the mud sign here. Okay, so now where is the word? So it's important to identify the words as well. Here are the words. These are the words. Okay, so now we see that there is a mud sign here. So where is the natural mud here? First of all, we need to identify the natural mud. So we have here waw with a fatha and followed by an alif. So here is your natural mud. That's your natural mad. Waw, alif, fatha. Wa. So we will do this two harakat. Two harakat. And then as we are moving ahead, we find there is a hamza. So this two is going to go to five harakat. Now because this hamza is in the same word, so it will be classified as mad wajib muttasil. Mad wajib muttasil. Why? Because this hamza is in the same word. So how are we going to read this? أهواءهم أهواءهم. Okay, let's move on. All right, now we see another one right here. So let's first of all identify the words. جاءك من العلم ما لك, like this. Okay, so here's the first word. And we find that there is a natural mad right here, jim fatha followed by an alif. So here is your natural mad, two harakat, and as we go ahead we find there is a hamza. So this natural mad of two harakat will change from 2 to 5, and because the hamza is in the same word, so we will classify this mad wajib muttasil. Wajib muttasil. And how are we going to read this? جاءك جاءك. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يتلونه حق تلاوته أولئك. Okay. Now here is another one. There's another one right here actually. Let's do this one first. Okay. Now you can see that this this word here. Let me identify the separation lines. Draw the separation lines between the words. حق يتلونه. That's enough. And on this side, أولئك يؤمنون به. Okay. So now in this word here, tilawatihi, you see the ha has a kasra, and then it is followed by another ya sakin here. And this one, as you can see, ha ya kasra is going to form a natural mad of two harakat, and it is followed by a hamza, but this hamza happens to be in the following word. So if we actually stopped here So in this case, we will only recite حق تلاوته. But if we continue, then we will recite it um, by extending this natural mud scenario. Ha ya kasra hi, and there's a ya here, so this will go to 5 harakat. And this ya actually this extension is placed because of this hamza in the next word. Tilawatihi ulaik. Okay, so that's how we're going to read this one. The next one, ulaika. Where is the natural mad? Is right here. Lam, alif maqsura, or alif with a fatha, 2 harakat, followed by a hamza in the same word. So we will change the 2 to 5, and we will recite this one like this. Ulaika, ulaika. Okay, and this will be classified as mad wajib muttasil. Why? Because hamza is in the same word. Okay, if I can scroll up a little bit. Okay, let's move on a little bit. And again, we have the same word here. Take that away. Okay, here's the word and the natural mad. Lam alif fatha la, 2 harakat, followed by a hamza in the same word. So it will be mad wajib muttasil. Here you have the mad sign indicating that there's going to be a long mad here. And where is the natural mad? Noon, ya, kasra. Here is the natural mad of 2 harakat, followed by a hamza, but in this case hamza belongs to the next word. So this will go to 5 harakat, but we will classify this mad here as mad Jaaiz Munfasil. Why? Because hamza is in the next word. But as far as reading is concerned, we are still going to stretch it to 5 harakat. Okay, similar situation here. You have these 2 words here. Where is the natural mad? Ta, ya, kasra, ti, 2 harakat, and there is a hamza, but it is in the next word. So as we are reading continuously, we will change this 2 to 5, 5 harakat. Mind you, if we do stop here on allati, then we will only do 2 harakat. For example, اذكروا نعمتي التي. So if I wanted to stop here, I will just do 2 harakat. But if we are continuing, then reciting from here, اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت, like this. So this situation will be mad jaiz munfasil. Okay. واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن. Okay, there's another one here. وإذ ابتلى. So now وإذ. Okay, here are the words. Okay. So now, where is the mad? Natural mad, lam, alif, alif maqsura, and fatha. On top of lam, we'll make a natural mad, 2 harakat. La, followed by a hamza in the following word, Ibrahima. So we will change this 2 to 5. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. All right, let's see. Okay, I think we've done enough of both types of mudud. So let's go back to our Tajweed notes and let's move to the next topic, Mad Lazim. So this one is a little bit more involved. So let us look at this chart first, especially because upright and it's not sideways. Some of these charts are sideways and it's hard to read sideways, but this one we can, alhamdulillah, read as it is upright. So Mad Lazim. Mad Lazim is actually divided into four parts. These are the branches, but the ending or the final parts are actually four. One, two, three, four. And then here's your Mad Lazim. Now, Mad Lazim basically it has two main branches. Mad Lazim based on the uh, words, when it occurs with the words, between the words, and when it occurs between letters. So these letters would be the letters you find in huruful muqatta'at. For example, alif lam mim, alif lam mim sad, like this. Kaf ha ya ain sad, like this. So those are huruful muqatta'at that you see at the beginning of some of the surahs. So mad lazim harfi will apply to um, those combinations of letters, huruf al-muqatta'at, and mad lazim kalimi will apply to the words, the actual words. So if we go, let's say, to this branch, if we follow this arrow of this main branch here, mad lazim kalimi, again, mad lazim kalimi is divided into two parts. Mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal, okay, and mad lazim kalimi mukhaffaf. And then as far as the letters are concerned, mad lazim harfi. Harfi means it is connected to letters. So mad lazim harfi, muthaqqal and mukhaffaf. Muthaqqal is due to tajdeed and mukhaffaf due to sukoon. So now let us look at these in more detail. So let's move down. All right. Here's the definition of mad lazim kalimi. So we are taking the first one here, the first branch, this one, mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal. We're taking this one now. Mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal. So happens when a mad letter is followed by a mushaddad letter. Mushaddad letter means a letter um, bearing a tajdeed, or a letter having a tajdeed on top of it. The reader is required to prolong the mad letter. It must prolong, or it must be prolonged for 6 beats. Okay. So let us look at these examples. First of all, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, that's good. Let us identify, and again, back to what I've been saying again, the seed of every mud is your natural mud. So where is the natural mud here? The natural mud is here. Sawd with a fatha followed by an alif. Here's your natural mud. So let me identify that. And it's going to be two harakat, as we all know. But then as you keep on reading, you find that there is a letter right after that has a tashdid. And when that happens, then we change this 2 to 6. and we classify this as mad kalimi, mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal. Muthaqqal because it is due to tashdid. And how are we going to read this? الصاخة الصاخة. If I do this here, الصاخة. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 beats. All right, I can leave that there. Let's move on to the next one and identify our natural or seed mud, which is ta, alif, fatha, ta, ta, and this is because it's a natural mud, so we will recite it 2 harakat ta, but then we find there is a letter that has a tajdeed right after, so we are going to stretch this 2 harakat to 6 harakat, and we will classify this mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal. Why muthaqqal? Because there is a tajdeed there, and this tajdeed is present on the letter right after, following right after the natural mud. Okay, so how are we going to read this? الطامة الطامة. Now one more thing is happening here. You must have already realized that what happens when you connect with the meme after saying ta 6 times, I mean like ta for 6 harakat, after stretching that, what do you encounter? You encounter a meme with a tajdeed. So because of the tajdeed, we do the 6 harakat. That's true. But then when you connect with a meme, then we see that there is a tajdeed. We've done the maddul lazim and stretched it. But then meme with a tajdeed, then we need to do the nasal sound for 2 harakat. Ta. So again, let me. Tammatu. We do the nasal sound of the meme as well for 2 harakat. Matu. Again. At-tammatu. So don't forget that this one also needs to be stretched because meme has a tajdeed now. Okay. Next word. Where is the seed or the natural mud? Is dad alif fatha da. 2 harakat. Natural mud. And followed by a lam with a fathatain. There is a fathatain, but there is a tajdeed. So this one is sort of shifted over. If I take this away and if I make it a little bit more closer here. So this tajdeed ideally should actually appear right on top of the lam like this. I think it's probably because of the way it was typed up. So if we consider this one instead of this one here, okay, there we go. So the letter that follows the natural mud has a tajdeed on top. So this natural mud will go from 2 to 6 harakat. How are we going to read this? ضالا ضالا. Okay. Here we stretch the nasal sound for 2 harakat. الطامة. But here we are not going to stretch the lam just because we ended up stretching here. We are not going to stretch the lam like ضالا. That would be wrong. All we have to do for lam is we just double it. But we do not stretch the way we stretch the nasal sound on meme or noon with the tajdeed. Okay. So we can look at the examples. these examples in the Mus'haf. So that would be Surah. The first one will be Surah Abasa at the end. This will be Surah Nazi'at, and this will be Surah Al-Duha. Let us go and look. Let me do like this because I already um, okay. This one is for no, I'm gonna use this Mus'haf here. Okay, and just simply go to Surah. Mm, okay, here we go. I can go to Surah Abasa. Um, just Thalathun, and Surah Abasa is going to be up here, right there. Okay, down here. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to highlight this one here, or identify. It's right here. فإذا جاءت الصاخة. So where is your natural mud? Your natural mud is right here. And let me uncircle it. Here is your natural mad of 2 harakat, followed by a letter with a tajdeed, kha. So what are we going to do? We are going to change or stretch 2 from 2 to 6 harakat, and we are going to recite like this. فإذا جاءت الصاخة. Okay. Next example would be in Surah An-Nazi'at. This Surah An-Nazi'at here. Okay. Mm, right here. Okay. Okay, there it is. So where is your natural mud? Natural mud is Ta, Alif, and Fatha right here. Ta, 2 harakat, followed by a letter with a tajdeed, and this happens to be Mim with a tajdeed. So we will stretch this 2 to 6. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى. So this is going to go from 2 to 6, and this one, as you have already, I'm sure you have already recognized that this would be again, and this will be a 2 to 5 situation, and this will be mad, wajib, muttasil. Why? Because Hamza happens to be in the same word as this one here. This is the word here. That's the word ja'at. Okay. And then Surah Al-Duha right here. Um, Here it is. So here is your natural mad. Dad, alif, fatha, da, 2 harakat. And there is a lam with a tajdeed right after. So this 2 will go to 6. And we will read this like this. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. So we'll stretch this 6 harakat. Okay, let's move back to our Tajweed notes. So we've done mad, lazim, kalimi, muthaqqal. The next one will be lazim kalimi mukhaffaf. So that's the other branch right here. It will be this branch now. Thicker. Okay, so it'll be mad lazim kalimi mukhaffaf. Okay. Okay, the definition says if a mad letter is followed by a sakin letter, the previous one was mad letter followed by a mushaddad letter or a letter having tajdeed. That would be mad lazim kalimi muthaqqal. And if a mad letter is followed by a letter with a sukoon, if a mad letter is followed by a sakin letter which is present in the same word, the reader is required to prolong the mad letter. Okay, and it must also be prolonged no less than 6 beats. So what's the example? Right here. First of all, let's identify, oh, make my pen thin. Identify the natural mud right here. Hamza, alif, fatha, a. Okay, and then you have a letter which is sakin right after lam. Lam is sakin right here. So this too is going to go to 6 harakat. And how are we going to read this? الآن الآن, and this is the only case in the Quran. Okay, so where is it? Let's go and look at it. I'm gonna pick up the other mushaf in here. Okay, so it's in Surah Yunus, ayah number 51, and here it is. ثم إذا ما وقع آمنتم به, and here it is. الآن وقد كنتم به تستعجلون. So what are the components now? First of all, the natural mad right here, Hamza, Alif and Fatha, 2 harakat, and then as we are reading this word we find there is a sakin letter lam, lam sakin right here. So this natural mad will get stretched out to 6, and we will classify this mad lazim kalimi uh, mukhaffaf. Why? Because of the sukun. If it was a tajdeed, it will be muthaqqal, and if it is sukun, it will be mukhaffaf. Mad lazim kalimi mukhaffaf, and this is the only situation in the Holy Quran. الآن, there you go. Okay. Okay, so we've done this. Now we've done this main branch of mad lazim. We've done this main branch. We've done mad lazim kalimi, muthaqqal, as well as mukhaffaf. Now we will do the next main branch, mad lazim harfi. So let's move on to the definitions. Okay, here we go. Mad lazim harfi muthaqqal. If a mad letter is followed by a mushaddad letter, the reader is required to prolong the mad letter. The mad letter must be prolonged for 6 beats. Okay. Now, what they've done in these examples is basically split these alif lam mim sad or alif lam mim ra and alif lam mim, and they've basically written them out. Alif as, like here, this is alif. Oops, sorry. So here's your alif is written out here in expanded form, and then lam is written out here. Meme is written out here, and Sod is written out here. So all of these letters, one, two, three, four letters have been written in an expanded form. Now, if we read them as words, how are we going to read them? Alif, okay, and there's no really real change actually happens here. Just alif, that's it. No muds, nothing. Alif, and here you can see that there is a natural mud here, la. Okay, so and then here you have another natural mud, me, and you have another natural mud, saw. So there's no natural muds here. So lam alif fatha la right here, la, two harakat, but then there is a sakin meme. Meme is sakin, so therefore we are going to stretch this 6 harakat. Lam, and then what's happening here is happening a idgham bi gunna. You have meme following meme sakin, and so this we are going to stretch 2 harakat here. And then me, 2 harakat, natural mad here, me, followed by a meme sakin. So this natural mad will be stretched again 6 harakat. Meme. But then if you look at these two letters, which are right beside each other, so Sod following meme sakin, we know from the rules of meme sakin that this is going to be idhar shafawi. So we just do the nasal sound of meme short, we do the meme clear, and just do the Sod right after. So how are we going to do this now? Alif lam, 6 harakat. Alif lam, and then these two memes, 2 harakat of the memes together, nasal sound, and then meme, 6 harakat, and then we are not going to extend this nasal sound. Why? Because the letter right after is a letter which is not meme and not ba. So there is no ikhfa and there is no idgham shafawi. So we will just do idhar shafawi here. Meme sad. Again, this one, sad alif fatha sa, 2 harakat, and followed by a letter which is sakin. So this will go to 6 harakat. Sad will be 6 harakat as well. So it's too cluttered up. Okay. I'm just trying to think up of a better way or clearer way, but I hope you're not getting too confused. Uh, let me write it right here. Choose a thicker pen. So let me write it here. Alif. So here is your Hamza. Alif. Okay. Fa is sakin. Alif. There's nothing happening here. Just simple alif, and that's it. Okay. Lam. Lam. Alif. Fatha, and you know that there is going to be a natural mad here. La, and then meme. So here is your lam, letter lam right here. Lam. Lam, alif, fatha, la, and meme is sakin. Lam. And then you have the meme, ya, and then meme. If I ya, and then meme here. Kasra, ya. You get the natural mud me, and then meme is going to be sakin, meme. That's what letter meme is. Meme. And then you have a sad. Sad alif fatha. So saw. And then dal is sakin. Letter sad. Okay. So now here we can identify the mudud here. So here is your natural mud of two harakat. La, followed by a meme with a sukoon. So we know that this 2 is going to go to 6. This becomes what? Mad lazim. In this case, harfi mukhaffaf, because meme is has a sukoon here. And then again you have meme ya with a kasra, me, 2 harakat, followed by a meme which has sukoon. So this will go again from 2 to 6. Meme, lam, meme, 6 harakat, and then now you see that there is an interaction here between these two memes. Meme following meme sakin, and we know from the rules of uh, meme sakin that this is going to be idgham shafawi situation, and we will stretch the nasal sound here, 2 harakat here. And here meme sakin is followed by a letter other than meme or ba, so there's going to be idhar, idhar shafawi. So this there won't be any stretching here. This meme will be done clearly. So that's it. And now you have another natural mad, sad alif fatha sa, 2 harakat, followed by a second letter. So this 2 is going to go to 6. So 6 here, 2 here, 6 here, and 6 here. So how many total? 6 plus 2, 8. Okay, 8 plus 6, 14, and then another 6. So total here will be 20 harakat. Is that 6 is 18? Yeah, plus 2, 20. And then this we will end up with dal sakin. So we will do qalqala here. Let's read this. Alif lam mim sad. Again. Alif lam mim sad. All right. So this is this one here. Let's look at the second one. Again, the expanded form. Alif right here. Simple. Lam. Lam alif fatha la will be the natural mad here. Followed by meme sakin. So it will go to 6 harakat. Then the two memes. We will do 2 harakat nasal sound. Meme ya kasra. Me. This will be again. Meme ya kasra me, and then followed by meme sakin. So this 2 will go to 6 again here. So the situation is more or less the same in as the first one. Like this one here, this one here, the same. The last letter is different in this one, ra, and here is sad. Now this one is only ra alif fatha ra, so we will just do 2 harakat only here. In this case we ended up doing another 6 harakat mad. So here we only do 2. So let's do this one. Alif Lam Mim again. Alif Lam Mim Ra. Okay, so that's this one here. Then the last example here is this one. So let's again see. The first alif is expanded here. Alif, simple. This, okay. And then you have the lam. This is going to be extended from 2 to 6 harakat. You have the idgham here happening. Meme following meme sakin, 2 harakat. Nasal sound. Meme only. You have the 2 harakat here going to 6, and that's it. We end right there. How are we going to read this? Alif Lam Mim. Again, Alif Lam Mim. So there you go. So Alhamdulillah, we've done up to Mad Lazim Harfi Muthaqqal. And the next section, Mad Lazim Harfi Mukhaffaf. Uh, we can look at it. Our time is getting tight now, but let's look at least the first example here. Um, let's do the definition first. If a mad letter is followed by a second letter, both of them being present in the same letter, the reader is required to prolong the mad letter. Okay, and again it will be prolonged or stretched 6 beats. So let us look at these again. Kaf, expanded form right here. The first one, kaf. Second, ha, expanded form right here. Ya, expanded form right here. Ain, expanded form right here. And Sod, expanded form right there. Okay, so we know that here, kaf, this is going to go from 2 to 6. Let me change the color here. It'll be a little bit more easier to see. 2 to 6. Okay, and ha be 2, as you can see. Nothing happening here to stretch it. Ya 2, and then Ain. Okay, you have the rule of Noon Sakin being applied here. You have Noon Sakin followed by a letter other than throat, other than Yarmalun, other than Ba. So there will be like an Ikhfa situation here. And here is Sod. We will stretch here 2 to 6 harakat. So let us see now. How are we going to read this? كاف ها يا عين صاد. Again. كاف ها يا عين صاد. Okay. The next one, Alif Lam Mim Sad right here. So Alif expanded here, Lam expanded, Mim expanded, and Sad expanded. So Alif, nothing happens to here. Lam will be stretched to 6 harakat. Here, idgham happening between the two memes. So stretch the nasal sound. Mim stretched 6 harakat. And then izhar happening here. So therefore, izhar shafawi. So we will not stretch the nasal sound, but Sad we will stretch 6 harakat, and we'll do qalqala on the dal sakin. Alif Lam Mim صاد. Again. ألف لام ميم صاد. Okay. The next one, let's scroll up a little bit. This one, expanded form right here. Let's read it just like that. ألف لام را. Now I think this one is probably a mistake because there is no meme right here. So this one doesn't match. Let's just read this one. ألف لام را. And this one. ألف لام ميم. Again. ألف لام ميم. Okay. And let's read this note. The mud in letters ha, ya, ta, ha, ra is mud tabi'i that has only two harakat. So as we read before, like in the first one, ra here and ha and so on. So if you have any of these letters, we will just do two beats as we have done before. And that's it. We have another chart coming which is sideways. So inshallah we will stop here and we will read the next page, which is page 20 for today. Let's take this away and we'll change this to 20. Here we go. Let's read this page and we will finish then inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإذ يرفع إبراهيم القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم ربنا وجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا أمة مسلمة لك وأرنا مناسكنا وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا وابعث فيهم رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم إنك أنت العزيز الحكيم ومن يرغب عن ملة إبراهيم إلا من سفه نفسه ولقد اصطفيناه في الدنيا وإنه في الآخرة لمن الصالحين إذ قال له ربه أسلم قال أسلمت لرب العالمين ووصى بها إبراهيم بنيه ويعقوب يا بني إن الله اصطفى لكم الدين فلا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون أم كنتم شهداء إذ حضر يعقوب الموت إذ قال لبنيه ما تعبدون من بعدي قالوا نعبد إلهك وإله آبائك إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق إلها واحدا وإسماعيل وإسحاق إلها واحدا ونحن له مسلمون تلك أمة قد خلت لها ما كسبت ولكم ما كسبتم ولا تسألون عما كانوا يعملون صدق الله العظيم. So we stop here for today, inshallah, and we will see you next week, 5 o'clock, Friday, bi'idhnillah. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.